it it's amazingly bad luck. Well, this is just incompetence. They can't even like control their own game. And this is already the third time this happens to me now that I get kicked off the game while doing this race. So it's also the last time I'm ever participating. Because what's the point? You prepare for 5 months to try and win this championship. You're leading the championship. You're trying to win this race, which you prepare for 2 months, and they handle it like this. I mean, there have been two red flags. They blame it on I don't even know what, people DDoSing the server. Then they cancel the rain because probably that's already a big influence. And then people are still getting disconnected. And now, of course, at one point also we were hit by it, and then they're just not dealing with it because they need even more people to disconnect. It's just honestly it's a joke. It's not even, you cannot call this an event.
Let's be honest. We didn't expect anything different, did we? Le Mans Virtual, once again, guys, has been plagued by disconnections, security breaches, and, to be honest, a poor broadcast. What is it going to take for the World Endurance Championship to realise that this licence with motorsport games is not working out and isn't going to work? Because this is the third year in a row now that this event has been held on Rfactor 2, and it's not like that they didn't know this was going to be coming around next year after the issues they suffered the previous year, and they still haven't rectified them. And I'm sure that they've got funding to be able to do this. I could be completely wrong, but even so, you should go to your owners and should request the money to fix the known issues that are in your sim, because this is just outright unacceptable, because it has affected the perception of sim racing to a lot of people who are not maybe that familiar with our niche hobby, which is gaining more and more traction. This event should be the largest sim racing event of the year. Everyone knows that the 24-hour Le Mans in real life is the flagship endurance event. It's part of the Holy Trinity in regards to the Indy 500, the Monaco Grand Prix, and the 24-hour of Le Mans. And this is the virtual comparison of it. And it has such an esteem attached to it that we have the current F1 world champion Max Verstappen competing. We have the current F2 champion, the F3 champion, a whole host of other real world drivers. We have real world teams such as Mercedes and Red Bull putting their own esports teams into this championship to try and win, because it has that esteem and prestige attached to it. And yet it is absolutely shat upon by the platform that is RF2. And look, the guys who are running this event and broadcasting this event are trying their best, although I do have my criticisms in regards to the broadcast. I don't know, did someone forget that YouTube can have a bitrate output of up to 20,000? Because it looks like the stream's output is at like 500. I mean, I've gone to other channels to try and see if it's just me, but it definitely is them and their output. Yeah, I expected a little bit better. Also, RF2 doesn't seem like it's the best sim from a broadcasting perspective as well. It looks arcadey, which I know is the complete opposite to how it looks in the car. So, yeah, real bizarre there. But just Max Verstappen summed it up. It's incompetence. It's outright incompetence. And for anyone who doesn't know that sim racing is now more mainstream, it is a serious business, and that as the names and the teams that I've just rolled off the tongue there, it's becoming more lucrative and it's more important to in real life racing. There is a genuine segue from sim racing in your living room to a real world drive now. And of course, these big teams have state-of-the-art simulators that the likes of Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen go and practice on in between race weekends to prepare for F1, for their real life races, and so do many other disciplines, racing disciplines as well. So sim racing is not just a niche hobby that we do at home anymore. It is a serious business and is taken seriously by these teams. And this event is also taken very seriously by everyone involved, but the platform is letting everyone down. And there's got to become a point where the World Endurance Championship, or whoever runs that body, they need to assess the license that Motorsport Games currently has a hold upon. Yes, Motorsport Games, who I'm sure we will not hear the last of, who are trying to, it seems, nab up all the exclusive licenses from anyone and everyone in the sim racing world, or just the racing world. They now have IndyCar, they now have the World Endurance Championship, which is why it's been run on Rfactor 2 for the past 3 years. And yes, people will say Rfactor 2 is a more truer sim than, say, iRacing and Assetto Corsa and other simulators out there. And yes, there is a good argument for that. But, I mean, really, does that really all outdo which is most important, which is the spectacle and the competitive side of it, and the fact of it, it's not fit for purpose? I think that's the right words there. Rfactor 2 isn't fit for purpose, and it still has a very, very long way to go as a sim, in my opinion. Now, of course, you've probably been watching this video and just waiting for me to mention iRacing, and here it is. And you're probably going to go, you're just a shill of iRacing. But the difference here is that while iRacing has its faults, it's not perfect by any means, it works. And the biggest thing here as well is that iRacing actually acknowledges their issues and rectifies them, and lets the community know exactly what caused the issues. There was a big furore a couple of years ago with Daytona. It was during the COVID period, and they had an unexpected amount of participation because everyone was at home and obviously people couldn't go out and their servers couldn't cope with it. But they acknowledged this issue and they quickly tried to rectify it. They let everyone know exactly what caused this issue, and then made sure that it didn't happen in the next special event. And as well, next year it didn't happen, and they know that for every special event they're going to get a much higher participation than they normally would week to week. And that should be the same for Rfactor 2. Why have you not acknowledged these issues and rectified them? Why are they still continuing? And you're not only just putting yourself in a bad light, you're bringing our genre and our community down too. So overall, it's quite clear to see that RF2 is just not fit for purpose. This is the third year in a row that it's happened. 3 strikes and you're out, in my opinion. And the WEC really needs to reevaluate that license with Motorsport Games and give it to someone, whether it's iRacing, in my opinion, is the best place for it to go at this moment in time, or someone else who can properly justify that this event deserves to be on their platform, and we're not going to see these issues happen. I mean, not having disconnection issues is the bare minimum that is required of events like this. You can't be having it, and we're never going to be able to have LAN events where everyone is in the same building at the same time. It's probably just not feasible because this is real world drivers competing in this event, and they have different schedules across the world, so they can't all be in the same place at the same time. But as I said, iRacing's able to do it, other sims have been able to do it, and yeah, I just think that it's now time for RF2 to move on, pass the baton on to someone else. But that baton needs to be taken out of their hands, because Motorsport Games are definitely not going to let that go willingly. So yeah, come on World Endurance Championship, do the right thing and give it to a platform that does not have these issues. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think of the event. Did you enjoy it? Did you really get disrupted by all of those disconnections and issues that they've had? And what platform would you like to see it on? I'm intrigued to hear what everyone's thoughts are. So remember to hit that like and subscribe button, turn those notifications on, and hit me up in the comments below. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.